So if you run an African Folktale channel, at some point you're going to run out of ideas, you're going to run out of stories, and then you can't come up with any other story. You're going to have that creator's block, and that is where you have a problem, because you need to constantly share stories on your channel, not just 100, 200, 300. You're going to be sharing thousands of stories on your channel. So the big question here is, how do you come up with stories to hold down your channel pending whenever you can start flowing again with ideas in your head and all of that? Now, in this video, I'm going to be teaching you 5 ways you can come up with interesting and engaging viral stories for your faceless African Folktale channel. Now, if this is something that you're interested in, please come closer and let's dive in. So the number 1 way to generate a viral story is by leveraging on what has gone viral in the past, and that is bestsellers. I know you must have heard bestsellers, novels, and that is what we're going to be using to generate our stories. So we're going to come over to ChatGPT, and then we're going to ask ChatGPT to give me 100 lists of bestseller romantic novels. Okay, you can use anything. It could be romantic, it could be thriller, it could be action, it could be romantic thriller, it could be action thriller, it could be action romantic, depending on the kind of stories that you share on your channel, or depending on what you want to explore. So just play around with it and see what you come up with. So give me 100 lists of bestseller romantic novels of all times. Okay, so ChatGPT is going to go ahead and give me a fantastic bestseller novel. Now, I know we are talking about African stories, and I know you'll be wondering, how does that correlate with the bestseller novels? But don't worry, I'm going to be showing you the trick, the magic, and everything that you need to do to come up with your amazing stories for your channel that is going to blow up and make you a lot of money. And here you can see ChatGPT is done, and it generated 100 bestseller stories. And how cool is this? If you're a novel lover, I know you'll find a couple of them here that you have read and you love, and it's actually a bestseller. But first, we need to confirm if this is real or not. So what we're going to try now is to copy this first one. Let's copy this number 1, and we're going to come over here and put it like so, and just search it on Google. And here you can see under Goodreads, you can see that it has gotten 116,000 plus reviews. That is 4.3 star reviews. So this is amazing. It's a proof that it's a bestseller. And if 116,000 people reviewed this, that means millions of people read it and loved it. So it's a good story for us to work with. So the next thing we're going to do now is to come back to ChatGPT. All right, come back to ChatGPT like so, and we're going to scroll down and copy this list. Okay, we're going to save this list because we're going to be working with it. So you're going to open your Google Docs. You can use Google Docs. I say it all the time. I love using Google Docs because it's online. I can access my file anywhere in the world with my phone, my computer, anywhere in the world. So I'm going to click on blank document, and I'm going to paste. Right click and paste without formatting. And now I have my 100 bestseller novels that made waves of all time. So we're going to come back to ChatGPT, and then we're going to ask ChatGPT to generate an African folktale story using this bestseller novel, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So now the next thing we're going to do is to tell it to use African tone, names, villages, and culture. Make sure you use simple English that an 8-year-old can understand. Perfect, right? So the next thing we're going to add here is, let's try to make it longer. Like, I've done a tutorial on how you can get up to 1 hour script or story from ChatGPT. I'm going to leave it in the description, or you can click here, of course, and watch it after watching this video. So, but then if you want to do that, what you're going to do is to ask ChatGPT to generate the story in 50 chapters of not less than 300 words. Please ensure that you follow all instructions. Make sure you add this last line. It's very important. It's very important. If you have not worked with ChatGPT before, you won't understand what I'm saying. But if you want to get the best out of ChatGPT, make sure you add this line. Please ensure that you follow all instructions. All right, so now that we have this, the next thing I'm going to do is to send it and let ChatGPT do its magic. So while it's generating, at some point it's going to stop. So you're going to click on continue generating so that it can continue generating the story for you. So now ChatGPT has generated the story, and as you can see, it's up to 50 chapters. And then the next thing we're going to do to be sure that it's up to the number of minutes that we want for our video, what we're going to do is to click on copy. So now that we have copied it, we are going to open another browser and we're going to visit words to time, okay? wordstotime.com, and we have it here. So we're going to paste in exactly what we copied from ChatGPT. We're going to paste it here, and you can see it gave us 14 minutes, 2 seconds. This is amazing. This is average for a video, but if you want to up it a little bit, what you can do is to come back to ChatGPT. Let's say you want a 20 minutes video or even more. What you're going to do is to come back to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT, you didn't follow the instructions. Make sure that the chapters are not less than 300 words. So you send it and ChatGPT is going to apologize. Sure, here, and it's going to now create another version or the same version, but adding extra words to it. So here you can see that the chapter 1 of this one is way much than all these chapters here. So we are looking at maybe 1 hour video or 2 hour video. So depending on what you want to achieve, the 40 minutes is actually okay for starters. But if you're looking to live stream, you can actually use the longer version and live stream and have your viewers get your watch time and grow your subscribers. I've done a video on that. I'm going to leave it in the description, or you can click here to learn how you can live stream on your faceless YouTube channel without ever showing your face. And you don't need to be live. You just use your system and play the video, and it's going to transmit to YouTube as if it's running live. A lot of channels are using this, including Brightside is using this to grow their channel, keep their audience engaged, and also tell YouTube that this is a real human being that is running this channel and not a bot, right? And now ChatGPT is done generating, and the next thing we're going to do is to copy this and then confirm how many minutes it generated for us. And to do that, all I have to do is to scroll down and click here, copy, and then I'm going to come over here and paste it like so. So here you can see we have 80.7 minutes. Come on. How cool is this? This is so amazing. You have 80 minutes of video, so you can decide to split it into 4. You know, you have the part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, or you can decide to live stream it and you're good to go. This is so amazing. So now this is one way to create stories for your African Folktale channel. The second way you can draw ideas is from movies and probably things around you. So all you have to do is to come to ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to give me a list, or rather, give me Give me 50 lists of highest grossing movies or grossing romantic thriller movies. Right? So we're going to enter. So now you can see that it has generated the 50 highest grossing movies of all time. So with this, you can now repeat the same thing that we did with the bestsellers, right? And then you're going to get your stories. Now, this gives ChatGPT an idea of the kind of story that you want to create, and then it's going to generate a story based on that novel or based on the movie or something around you. Now, the third way you can come up with stories is by looking for trending stories on other channel, other African Folktale channel. I've done a tutorial on this. I'm going to link it in the description, or you can click here to get that video so that you can watch it and learn how you can do it. There's a lot of tools. I wouldn't want to repeat it here so that this video will not be entirely long. but it's something that you can get a lot of idea from there, because if it's trending on their channel, that means people love the storyline and they are also going to enjoy it on your channel as well. Now, some people will ask me if it's not plagiarism or if it's not going to affect like as reused content. No, because ChatGPT is going to write something entirely different, but just drawing inspiration from the existing story, right? Because nothing is actually new in the face of the earth. So everything has been done by someone, or every story has been told by someone. So you just need to tell your own story from your own perspective, right? So that is why you see a lot of Hollywood movies, they repeat similar storyline, but different characters, different, perspective and all of that. You see that a lot in Hollywood movies as well. So you can just go ahead and replicate the same thing and you're going to see a lot of success, because you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just have to ride on what is already existing. And with this, getting stories that are already trending, you are riding with the trend, and with that, you're going to be getting a lot of views and you're good to go, right? I get a lot of people complain that they don't get views, or a couple of people that complain that they don't get views. Maybe this is one of the reasons why you're not getting a lot of views, because you're not making videos that people are interested in. You have to consider it's not about you. Your channel is not about you. Your channel is about your audience, what your audience wants, right? If your audience wants to see this particular kind of storyline, you just have to give them that storyline. We see that happening a lot in Nollywood. We see that happening a lot in Hollywood. So when they want to make a particular kind of movie, sometimes they even stretch it and have like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5. Every year they bring out a new season. Every time they bring a new season and all of that. So it's something that you can leverage on and use it to gather a lot of views for yourself and in turn make a lot of money for yourself. And then the fourth one is generating story by yourself. Let's say you're having that block, but it has not blocked completely. You just have a vague idea of the kind of story you want to tell. All you have to do is to tell ChatGPT that just tell me a story about a man that got pregnant because his ex-girlfriend cursed him, so he now got pregnant. So something this vague can sound vague, but when you put it in ChatGPT is going to draw a lot of inspiration from it and then create an amazing story for you. So if you tell it to generate a story, an African folktale story based on a man that got pregnant because the ex-girlfriend cursed him when he broke up with her. Of course, you're going to use a similar prompt that I used earlier with a novel, right? You're going to indicate that it has to be an African folktale channel. It has to be an African story, African culture, African name. Use the easiest, simplest English that an 8-year-old can understand. And then it's going to go ahead and generate that story for you. It's very amazing what we can achieve with ChatGPT if you know the right prompts, the right words to use to draw that thing out. You can see how we just went from 14 minutes to 80 minutes plus, right? Just by using the right word. And of course, it generated what we wanted, right? And then number 5 is letting ChatGPT generate the entire story for you, right? I do not recommend this 100%, right? Because I always encourage that you add a touch of you in everything you're doing. Don't let AI do all the things, all the work for you, right? But if for any reason you're completely blocked out, but you're looking for inspiration, you can use ChatGPT to generate a story. So here I can just simply say, generate 50 African story titles that can go viral. So with this, ChatGPT is going to go ahead and generate that for us. And then from there, we can go ahead and build it up. So here you can see what it's generating: the lioness and the moon, the great baobab whisper, jungle spirits, the guardian of the savannah, the legend of Zuri, and the golden drum. So now that we have this, all you have to do now is copy this list, and of course, you're going to go over to your list and put it there. It's going to be different. It's not going to be the same with the novel or the movie or anything, right? You're going to put it different, and then you're going to be taking it one after the other, like we did with the novel. And you're going to come here and say generate an African folktale story based on this topic, and give it the same prompt that, or a similar prompt that we used in the beginning, the novel story. You're just going to use that, and then ChatGPT is going to go ahead and generate the story for you. And talking about African folktale stories, I have a tutorial, a start to finish tutorial that is going to help you create an African folktale story from start to finish like a pro. All you have to do is to click here to watch it, to learn everything that you need to know about how to start and run an African folktale channel. But if you have seen this video, then this is the next video that YouTube recommends that you watch on this channel. So go ahead and watch either of them and thank me later. See you on either side. Ciao.